everybody, welcome back to Tech Tomorrow. If you guys happen to mix the unboxing of the new GeForce GTX 660 Ti from Gigabyte, this is their overclocked version, make sure you check out the link in the description below, or it's probably on the screen or behind me, and pop back and check out the unboxing. Right now, I've got the card in my hand, and some of the things that are specific to the Gigabyte card beyond the normal features is their cooling apparatus. Their cooling apparatus is their wind-forced technology. Now, this cooling apparatus covers the card. It actually extends way past the actual PCB on the back of the card. That's one of the main features of their card. They also have their own overclocking and software tool called OC Guru 2. You guys can check that out. We'll have a screenshot of that back there as well. Those are the things that are really pertinent to this card. This card's going to be coming to market at about $300. And if you guys saw the unboxing, you know all the stuff that comes in the box and all the close-up shots of the card. So for now, let's actually jump in. Let's talk about the actual specific features, the speeds and feeds, and then let's go check out the performance of this GTX 660 Ti from Gigabyte. So let's first off just talk about some of the things that we want to really reiterate that are specific to the Gigabyte overclocked version of the GTX 660 Ti. You know, before we talked about it, but you can see their whole cooling apparatus is right here. This is their wind-force cooling technology. It's anti-turbulence, means it doesn't make a bunch of noise while it's running. Underneath it is the complete cooling solution. You can see the aluminum fins all throughout the card, and you can also see the copper heat pipes going completely through it as well. You can also see there are two 6-pin power connectors. The GeForce GTX 660 Ti typically draws up to 134 watts of power in most non-TDP apps. This is what you'll experience with the power target slider set at its default 100% settings. Now, if you wish to overclock the card, we highly recommend that you max the slider out to 123%. At this setting, the board will drop to 165 watts in non-TDP apps. So now let's talk features. The GeForce GTX 660 Ti has been designed for gamers who want to enjoy their games with the graphics settings and AA turned up. They also have geared this card for a 1920 by 1200 or 1920 by 1080 resolution. Now, one thing that all cards will have in common, they will all contain 1344 Cuda Cores and 7 SMX units. The memory subsystem of the GeForce GTX 660 Ti consists of 3 64-bit memory controllers for a total of 192-bit memory controller. It also has 2 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory. Now, the base clock speed of the GeForce GTX 660 Ti is 950 MHz, and the typical boost clock speed is 980 MHz. The Gigabyte overclock version, however, ships with a base clock of 1033 MHz and has a boost clock of 1111 MHz, or 1111 MHz, kind of a tricky number to say. Now, all cards also ship with a memory clock speed of 608 MHz, which transfers to 144.2 gigabytes a second total memory bandwidth. Pretty fast stuff. Now let's talk about the actual size of the card. The actual PCB, the silicone, is actually under 9 inches, but measuring the card with the cooler, it measures 10 inches long by 4 inches high by about 1.5 inches thick. We'll have this all translated into millimeters for you guys on the screen, for you guys over in Europe. Now, the rear I/O of the card, this is actually my favorite configuration. I like having 2 dual-link DVI connections, a standard DisplayPort, and a standard HDMI. I'm not really a big fan of the smaller ones using the AMD cards, although that's what all the people who use Apple and everything are using. I prefer this one. So those are pretty much the features of the card. Now let's move in and let's check out the performance of the card and see how it does against the competition. folks. So there you have the specs. You guys have seen how fast the card is. You see how cool it runs. Now, out of all the cards I've tested, the Gigabyte card actually is running very, very cool. I was very happy with that. The card's running very cool. Its numbers are good. It's going to be coming to market at $300, so it's right in there to compete in the mid arena of things. Now, there's all kinds of cool features that are specific to NVIDIA cards themselves, which could be a whole nother can of worms. You know, their adaptive V-Sync, all that different stuff that they have for their card. You know, all of their multi-monitor technology, all that stuff's in there, but that'll be some other videos. Today, we just wanted to get you guys the basic features, show you how fast the card was, and let you guys make a buying decision based off those things and say, hey, is that the card I'm looking for? So this card's priced right there in the middle of where the card's at. There'll be cards probably anywhere from $299 all the way up to $369. This card's right there in the lower 300s. It competes well. I feel at the end of the day, this Gigabyte card is a very hot product for those looking for a mid-range video card in the $300 range. So you guys saw it here, and we'll see you guys back on Tech of Tomorrow. See you guys later.